Hi, I wanted to jump on and give you guys some notes about the essay that you should be working on, specifically the book you want to choose for your analysis. In the modules, you've read a little bit about what makes a good picture book, and of course in our textbook. I posted an example of an analysis of this book right here, which is considered, like the crown jewel of a picture storybook, Where the Wild Things Are. And make sure you're not using this book, right? Because we keep using it as an example. The reason it makes such a great example of a picture book is the text. So you'll notice that, let me start at the beginning here, right? The text and the pictures really work together to create meaning, and that's what you're looking for. And so I want to give you some examples of how that's done. On this first page here, I have a bunch of notes already, you have very minimal text, right? The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind or another, on the next page it says. And you'll notice Max, of course, is from the beginning in this diagonal shape, which indicates action. He's a dynamic character. He's not static. And then as we continue on and another, notice that the white space around the image, and I think this might have been in one of the analyses I posted, but the white space around the image starts to get smaller as Max's anger starts to get bigger and his imagination, right? And notice that the wild thing world is starting to encroach upon his bedroom, and it gets bigger as his mischief level grows, as he gets madder and madder, and then of course he sails off into the horizon. So the text and the imagery are mimicking each other and adding to this idea that imagination is growing, a child's imagination is boundless. He kind of gets it under control when he comes back home, so there is need for stability. But I want to stop on that one because, again, I've posted some stuff about that. I want to show you some other examples so that you get a sense of the kind of book you should be choosing. Now, here's another great book, a book I love and that I used to read to my kids often. This is one of the Elephant and Piggie books, right? So it's called I'm Invited to a Party. This is not an appropriate book for this assignment. This is a great type of picture book. Like I said, my kids loved it, but it really isn't telling a story. I get invited to a party. He gets an invite to a party. He's very happy and he shows it to his friend. But really, when you look at the text, it's just party, party, party. And there isn't a lot of background. It's just Elephant and Piggie on a blank white page. And so we're not developing meaning, right? You must get ready. Really? I got to get ready? They just go about their day getting ready for this party. But there's not this sense that there's a deep message being told in this picture book. And so that's why something like this wouldn't work. Another book that I don't have a copy of with me here that a lot of people want to try to use for this assignment is The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. One of my favorites, that's an illustrated book. It's not really a true picture book. And I'm not going to get into a whole discussion about that. It doesn't work for this assignment. I have a whole list of books here that I have with me if you wanted to come by my office, and I would be happy to go over all of these with you, but just some examples of books that do work for this assignment. There's A Nightmare in My Closet. It has very similar theme, and in fact, the art is actually also very similar to Where the Wild Things Are. Extra Yarn, again, when you open one of these picture books, you should take note of the images, and they should make an impact, right? They're of a particular quality. They go above and beyond just standard, color illustrations. They really seem deep. They seem to carry some deep meaning in them themselves. But of course, the text is always there enhancing it. They work together. This is also a good one, Bella's Fall Coat. A popular Stella Luna. You may have read this one. Great story about a little bat trying to find a family. Some really great imagery. I'm going to focus in on this book right here. It's called Sam and Dave Dig a Hole. This book won a ton of awards, and it's, again, a great example of a book that works for this this assignment. So I'm just going to read through the book and then tell you why it does work so well. This book by Mac Barnett, illustrated by John Klassen. He also has a book that you may have come across about the fish with the little hat, or I Want My Hat Back. That's a great book. Another one that works for this assignment. Okay, so you'll notice that our illustrations start really small, right? Sam and Dave are over here with their dog. Great space of white open, great use, I should say, of white open space. Why is that important? Think about why the whole page might be open like that. Think about what I just said with where the wild things are and the idea of a child's imagination, right? Here we have all this space for their imaginative ideas to grow, okay? So on Monday, Sam and Dave dug a hole, okay? And so it starts pretty, hope you can see this, pretty basic, right? They did a little hole here. They have an apple tree. Their little dog is with them. He's going to become very important. And the text continues, "When should we stop digging?" asked Sam. "We are on a mission," said Dave. "We won't stop digging until we find something spectacular." And so that's going to be the whole point of this story, is Sam and Dave finding something spectacular. And what is that? So now they start digging. The hole got so deep that their heads were underground, but they still had not found anything spectacular. "We need to keep digging," said Dave. But if you'll notice here, we have our first spectacular, if you will, diamond, big jewel in here. And notice, I don't know if you can see, the dog knows it's there, right? The dog is pointing at it. His little eyes are looking at it. But Sam and Dave, they're on a mission. They're looking for something spectacular. But notice they haven't said what that spectacular is. Still a lot of open white space to work with. Now their hole gets bigger, and it's contrasted with this, it's hard to go backwards here, very dark, right? The ground is becoming dark. We have more, up here we have the jewels here, and then of course down here another jewel. And they keep digging, right? So they kept digging. Just as they get to a point where they're about to hit that jewel, sorry, my pages are stuck together. Right, they'll take a break. They took a break. Dave drank chocolate milk out of a canteen. Sam ate animal cookies he had wrapped in their grandfather's kerchief. "Maybe," said Dave. "The problem is that we are digging straight down." "Yes," said Sam. "That could be the problem. I think we should dig in another direction," said Dave. "Yes," said Sam. "That is a good idea." Notice they were right there. They were just getting ready to hit the jewel, and of course the dog is like, "What? Are you kidding me?" Sorry, I'm backwards here. So the image is, we have this big white open space where they're digging down, and the ground is, it's not closing in around them, because we shouldn't see this as limiting so much as, but they're making huge progress through the ground here. And there's the rich brown around them is almost comforting. So they turn. "I have a new idea," said Dave. "Let's split up." "Really?" said Sam. "Well, just for a little while," said Dave. "It will help our chances, right? We split up. Let's see what happens." And of course, once they do, they go right around their big jewel, right? So Dave went one way and Sam went another. Could you make something of that, right? That when they stop working together, all of a sudden they get further off track? Sure, you could make that argument if you wanted to. But of course, the dog, he still knows. You'll notice too that the boys get dirtier and dirtier as the story continues. I'm going to speed along here now. They keep digging, 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 digging. Look how big that spectacular the gem is. It's overpowering. It's got the flecks of the dirt in it to give it this very earthy feeling. And here are Sam and Dave, just their little eyes. "Yes," said Sam, "that is a good idea," right? They're continuing to dig. Now, they're still digging. Sam and Dave ran out of chocolate milk, but they kept digging. They shared the last animal cookie, but they kept digging. So they've run out of supplies, but they're still on their mission. After a while, Sam sat down. "Dave," he said, "I am tired." "I am tired too," said Dave. "We need a rest." So you can see that it's become very dark. The boys are covered in dirt. The dog is trying so desperately now. There's another, if you see that, it's just a little bone. So it's again this idea that there are buried treasures in here that they just keep missing. They fell asleep. And now, well, let me go back. They fell asleep. I don't know if you caught it because I'm going so fast. They fell asleep, but the dog keeps digging, right? And digging and digging. And now there are no more words on this page, and it's just the dirt, the falling. The bone fell, and now Sam and Dave fell too. Then Sam and Dave were falling. Are they dreaming? We're not sure. It could be. Sam and Dave fell down, down, down. And you'll notice here, this is really clever, how the text, right, mimics and mirrors the falling characters and debris over here. And they landed in the soft dirt. Well, said Sam. Well, said Dave. That was pretty spectacular. Now, if you can see up close, though, you'll notice that where they've landed is not the same as where they began. It's like a mirror image. In the beginning, the cat was wearing a different color collar. The cat's collar was a pinkish color, and now it is a more bluish color. This tree over here in the beginning was an apple tree, and now it's a pear tree. Have they fallen into an alternate universe? Are they dreaming? Is it just a different view of the same house and it's a different cat? That's not really the point of the story. When you get to the end of the story and we're left with all this blank white space again, it becomes clear that the idea of what's spectacular is not necessarily jewels. It's the mission that the boys went on, that they had this fun time together, that it was adventurous, that it sparked their imagination. And so that's what you want to do with the book that you choose. You want to identify what's kind of the message that the book is telling readers. It doesn't have to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't have to be very complex, right? It's just simple. Imagination is a great tool for children, right? The greatest adventures are the ones we go on together, those kinds of things. So please keep that in mind as you look for a book. Post to the topic selection as soon as you can with images of your book. That will allow me to respond sooner about the quality of your book. If you'd like to talk to me about your book, I'd be happy to make a Zoom appointment, or you can stop by my office. But please don't send me like a list of possible books and ask me which one is best, because I really do want you to make the decision for the book that you choose. But I'd love to give you some feedback. So that's a little bit about, like I said, the picture book essay. If you have questions, please reach out to me. Please post on the topic selection and give each other feedback. And please read the prompt carefully and closely so that you'll see the books that are listed that are not appropriate and you won't accidentally use one of them. Okay? Have a great week, and I'll talk to you later.